When you think of being healthy, you probably think of like a traditional food pyramid plate, which is your protein, your meat, your vegetables, and your whole grains. But what if you started thinking as the vegetables as your main source of nutrition? And today I will be discussing with you what that is, a plant-based diet, also known as veganism. I've been vegetarian for 6 years, and last year I decided to make the full transition into being vegan. So I've been vegan for a full year now, and you might not be interested in being vegan or eating vegan, but the odds are being vegan is more popular now, as there's a lot of vegan food places, and you might know someone in the future, like a family member, a friend, or a boyfriend and girlfriend who will be vegan. And so by understanding what a vegan diet is, you could probably help accommodate them better and understand their lifestyle choice. So the difference between being vegan and vegetarian, because most people don't know, is that being vegan is also called a complete vegetarian. And what that means is that vegans don't eat meat like a vegetarian does, but they also don't take in any dairy or any animal byproducts. Okay, so what that means is that most vegans don't drink regular dairy milk, don't eat cheese or eat yogurt, and despite what most people consider seafood not meat, seafood like fish, vegans also don't take in fish, whereas some vegetarians do eat fish. One of the things that most people don't know about milk actually is that milk is not very healthy for you. I think like the Got Milk commercials and the media make milk seem as it gives us a lot of calcium, and we need milk for our bones to have strong bones. But according to an article, Save Our Bones, and also a vegan documentary called Forks Over Knives, regular dairy milk from cattle is actually really bad for you because the milk itself has a lot of calcium in it, but what it does is that milk is very acidic. So when we drink milk, the calcium that is already stored in our bones is extracted to help neutralize the acidity. And then once we go to the bathroom, we flush out all of the calcium. So according to this article and many other articles, the drinking dairy milk actually reduces our calcium levels and is not good for our bones. So this is a typical vegan food pyramid right here. And at the top of the pyramid you can see is the omega-3 fatty acids, which you can get from avocados and different fruits. For those of you who aren't aware, avocado is a fruit. And vitamin D and vitamin B12. B12 is a really important vitamin that is found commonly in meats. But what most people don't know is that also like meat, soy is a complete protein where it has all of the essential meat, fatty acids and all the essential meat amino acids. And a main source of protein for vegans is tofu, and soy can also be made into another type of meat substitute called tempeh. A lot of soy meats are fortified with B12 so that you get that supplement. You can also get protein from nuts, seeds, and eating a lot of whole grain pastas and breads have a lot of natural proteins in them. The B12 that's really important in someone who doesn't eat meat, you can find in nutritional yeast, which is a really popular vegan ingredient. It's also used to it has a cheesy flavor to it. So a lot of vegan recipes, that call for cheese, like nachos or vegan mac and cheese, use nutritional yeast. And when you're eating that, you're getting a lot of B12. And then there are also okay. So here are some of the ingredients. So this is one type of tofu, just silken tofu. These are just some of the basics that you might find if you are doing vegan cooking. Flaxseed is really good for you. And then also this is an egg replacement powder for baking, because a lot of regular baking calls for eggs, whereas vegan baking, you can use the egg replacement powder to have the same consistency and texture. Which one's the OK button? Like if I want to select something?
I guess, I don't know. I've not seen, I just scroll through by pushing to the left button.
Okay. So these are some milk alternatives to if you decide to be vegan or know someone who's vegan and they don't drink regular cattle milk. There's almond milk, there's hemp seed milk, there's cashew milk, there's soy milk, there's rice milk, and there's oat milk. And most of these milks are made by blending water and whichever seeds they use, and you blend that together, and then you strain it, and the leftover product is the milk that you get. This is some of the food I eat. This is groceries I bought from a Thai market. This is a vegan cafe down the street that I go to after school. This is a sandwich. And this is when I go eat out vegan food. There's a lot of vegan places in LA and Echo Park and Hollywood. It's just called Tender Greens, and I got a vegan salad and a vegan cupcake. Okay, so some of the reasons that people become vegan is there's 3 different reasons why somebody might become vegan. There's the ethical reasons, there's the environmental reasons, and then there's the health reasons. And for the ethical reasons, a lot of people think that being vegan is really extreme and you're not killing any animals. So if you're just drinking their milk, how is that harming them? But what a lot of people don't know is that the cattle that they use for dairy plants and everything to get their milk, after they've injected them with enough hormones and get the milk out of them that they use those same cattle and then ship them to the meat industry, and then that's where they make the meat. So both companies kind of work hand in hand. So eventually those cattle do end up dying and becoming meat. And then the environmental reasons, according to Hugo Esso from 10 Reasons Why being vegan helps protect the environment. Being vegan also reduces the use of fossil fuels, because the cattle industry and the meat packing industry is it uses 1/3 of all fossil fuels used on the planet. And so by being vegan, you're helping reduce that, and also because it costs fossil fuels to ship out the meat to the different parts of the world. And then another environmental reason is that it helps protect our rainforests, because a lot of rainforests are being destructed for cattle raising and cattle farming, and about 80% of our rainforests are gone already. For the health reasons for being vegan, according to the Forks Over Knives documentary, they did a study where they put certain people who had specific diseases on an all plant-based vegan diet, and for most of their participants that were willing to participate in this study, without any medicine or anything, a lot of their diseases were either stopped or reversed because they were on an all vegan diet. And most people think all vegan diet might be unhealthy, but when it's done properly and you make sure you're getting all of your nutrition, a vegan diet is actually the healthiest diet there is for you. Some vegan athletes that are on a vegan diet is Mac Danzig, who is an MMA fighter and a former UFC champion, and also Brian Gordon, who used to play for the Yankees. He was also known for being the first baseball player to use an all-vegan baseball glove during a game. So now that I've described for you what a vegan diet consists of, the reasons people become vegan, and what the health benefits are for being vegan, I hope I showed you that it can make a significant change in someone's life in a good way. And I've been vegan for a year, and I plan on continuing to be vegan. So.
So Garrett, what did you think?
I thought it was good. Her opener was well. It got me really into it at the very beginning, and I liked, well, obviously, that she was a vegan, so she personally was goes through it, so it really adds that credibility to it. The transitions were good. I liked the visual effects. Besides the little technical difficulties, it was a solid speech. At the end, I liked the baseball. About the baseball player, I did not know that, which was a pretty cool fun fact. And I also like how you gave us images of what you eat and just certain things how other people have to deal, like how you're saying restaurants, how they have to have certain foods now for whatnot, but I really liked it and all.
Okay.
Informative.
All right, I thought the attention device worked pretty well and the topics nicely identified. You do a good job distinguishing veganism from vegetarianism, and that explanation is good. I thought you had a pretty clear statement of what your goal was, and the justification was fine. I do think that you need a preview of what the structure is going to be in the speech, and in the body of the speech, it does feel to me a little bit like you are randomly coming across information. Now, there are some signposts occasionally, but they occur mostly as a result of the visuals that we're talking about, or there's a highlighted point, and the transitions need to be a little bit smoother. I thought you started off pretty well with some source citations. In the body of the speech were a little bit less consistent. Toward the end of the speech, you provided a lot of arguments, almost turning it into persuasive, so you want to be a little bit careful about that, about the benefits of veganism, which is fine, except that only part of your information is being cited there, and the source citation really, the primary one that I keep hearing reference to is the documentary that you're talking about, and that there's good information in the documentary, I don't doubt, but especially when you're making the scientific claims about the problems with milk, or the whole calcium thing, or at the end when you're talking about all of the amount of energy that's used for producing meat and the contribution to all of our fossil fuels, global warming, all that stuff that's coming up there, that just felt like it was underdeveloped, like there was more opportunity for information there, and I'm just getting the thumbnail sketch of the things that people say instead of an argument being developed. And that's not really your point, so either you need to develop it and include it in your speech, or take that point out, and either one I think would work a little bit more successfully. Yeah, obviously you need a little bit of practice with the computer. You could potentially just walk over and use the cursor on the computer when you get stuck. You asked me that question and I didn't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things, because generally I've never used it to try. I don't use it like a cursor. I just use it as for scrolling forward, that sort of thing. If you ever see me go back, it's really complicated to do that, because you got to hit the screen, then you got to roll back and try and hit the previous button and then click on that, and it's just awkward to do. Obviously, it's a little bit overtime. It's almost 2 minutes overtime. The ethical issue, like I said, I think that could be part of your introduction, identifying the difference between vegetarianism and veganism, and keep it brief so that it's not a big part at the end of the speech, taking up the extra time. It just feels like you're trying to cram a little bit much into the speech. The images were large and easy to see. Mostly they're used as transitions. I like the idea of the vegetarian pyramid, the food pyramid. I thought that was a good choice to have there. It just felt a little small in some of the sections. It's hard to see from where I am. I'm sorry, I'm an old guy sitting in the back with my glasses on trying to read it, and some of those things are a little bit small. I could make out what was there, but I'm having to work too hard at it, and that would have been one of those things that maybe you could cut out all of the rest of the stuff enlarge that section of the material, the other stuff that was on that slide, take that out, and that would have been maybe a little bit clearer. All right, thank you.